What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Patrick, aka Addicted to Combat, back for another week of best bets and props. This one for UFC Vegas 59, Santos versus Hill, the Ultimate Fighter 30 finale. A sketchy 12-fight card, as we've had a few of in the past month or so. Low-level competition here for sure. A lot of Ultimate Fighter debutantes and things like that making their first appearance in the octagon. But, officially anyways. Some weight class changes and some wide money lines, but I found some good spots. Had my first episode of the Addicted to Combat cast last night with my boy Eric Bets Fights, and I appreciate everybody that came out and supported me on that one. Had a lot of live viewers for my first show ever. I didn't expect that kind of support for an unproven show. It could have been a complete disaster, but I hope it was at least somewhat entertaining and useful as me and Eric went back and forth over all 12 of these fights and gave out props, potential props for each one, and then our top three at the end. So I'm staying off of the parlays again this week, although I do have one Hail Mary parlay I'll give out at the end of this video. Otherwise, I've got 5 money lines and I think about the same number of props as well that I've played. So I'm going to keep doing this short format video on Thursdays or Fridays just to summarize what we did on the live streams on Wednesday and just to be honest about what I'm betting this week and what I recommend. If I beat the line movement, if I didn't, just going to be honest about how I'm playing the card every single week. So starting with Mayra Bueno Silva is my first money line, 1 unit play at plus 100. This is a little bit middle or low level women's MMA here, but I think Mayra Bueno Silva just has much better stand up. Huge disparity in the favor of Mayra Bueno Silva on the feet over Stephanie Egger. She has to keep it on the feet. Although if it does go to the ground, which I think Egger will end up taking Silva to the ground at some point in this fight, I think Silva has the skills to actually stay defensively sound. She has submissions of her own. I believe like a purple belt in BJJ. She's been in there with the much better competition. She's got better experience. I think her effective stand-up, like she showed against Yanan Wu in her last fight, will prove effective against Stephanie Egger, who's got very basic stand-up at best. So plus 100 play on her. I'd probably recommend whoever's the underdog of this bout, you can bet that or just stay off it entirely. But I got the plus 100 on who I think is the much better fighter here, more complete. So next up, this one was a complete degenerate play. Miranda Granger I'm taking in the very next fight over Corey McKenna as well. Plus 195, I put a half of a unit only on Miranda Granger. If you're going to play this at all and kind of fade Corey McKenna, I'm just basically fading her poor fight IQ she showed against Elise Reed, not going for her clear path to victory, which was the wrestling and the grappling. I would take Miranda Granger by decision, which is around plus 300. I don't see her finishing Corey McKenna, who's been proven pretty durable so far. But Miranda Granger's been out for a long time. She doesn't have the best record in the UFC, losing her last bout 2 years ago to Ashley Yoder. I understand that. But there's a huge physical advantage for Miranda Granger here. She can keep Corey McKenna at bay with a 10-inch reach. Hopefully she's gotten a little bit better in her time off. I know she started a family, but probably got back right to the training and was trying to find a fight date. So now she gets it. I got that plus 195 before the props dropped. Otherwise, I would have taken Granger by decision. Now I'm not going to do that. I don't want any more invested on this fight. It's more of just a revenge play personally against Corey McKenna, who lost me money back in her last appearance when she lost to Elise Reed. I'm looking to take advantage of this mispriced line at plus 195 and get some of that Corey McKenna money back by fading her. So not a play I recommend. If you did play this for Granger, I would play by decision at plus 300. Brian Battle is up next. Now this one, again, I like everything about Brian Battle so far. He is coming off of a win off of the Ultimate Fighter show last summer, and then also he finally got another win over the guy he was supposed to face, who was Tresean Gore. So Tresean Gore was a pretty good setup fight for this one against Takashi Sato. Both guys are power hitters. Both guys usually looking to land that big power shot, pretty low volume guys. So he passed that test against Tresean Gore, showed good durability, very high striking output as well. Diverse array of strikes, leg kicks, striking to the body, able to counter strike off of his back foot and stay active. Pretty good cardio, and he does have good takedown ability as well, which is a weakness of Takashi Sato, who had a long layoff. Doesn't have really the best wins in the UFC either. He's going 2-3, and before a 2-year-long layoff, he fought Gunnar Nelson last March, this March, a few months ago, and was out-controlled for almost all 3 rounds. So Brian Battle could pretty much win this fight on the feet, just stay out of harm's way from that southpaw left straight of Takashi Sato. I think he wins this fight. I am paying the price of minus 245 to win 1 unit in return. on Brian Battle, who will have a size advantage now, dropping down to 170 after, he's been as big as like high 200s before in his past. Before he started training MMA, he's a big built guy, and now finally in shape, carving himself down to 170. So I'm going to take Brian Battle here. I think he's more complete. Moving on to the fourth money line, Vicente Luque in the co-main event, paying the price of minus 175 on his money line to win 1 unit in return. I like Vicente Luque here, man. He's durable, very high striking output, the better striking differential, which means he actually lands more strikes than he absorbs in return from his opponents. You can't say the same about Jeff Neal. He's slightly outstruck because he is another one of these low-volume, power-striking guys, is Jeff Neal. Now, both guys are very durable. Vicente Luque also has that grappling edge as well if it does go to the ground. I don't see this fight going to the ground. I think this will be a 3-round striking affair between these two guys. Jeff Neal, not really on the best streak here with momentum. He lost 2 fights. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson figured him out, wrote the blueprint on how to beat him. And then also he lost to Neil Magny, who was mixing in striking and grappling. Neil Magny very good at winning decisions. And then he just barely squeaked by. Jeff Neal barely squeaked by Ponzinibbio in his last fight. He got outstruck in 2 rounds and still managed to win 2 rounds. It was a split decision. The more effective striking, I guess both judges saw it in the favor of Jeff Neal. And he barely squeaked through. So that wasn't even the best win to come back after losing 2 straight. Besides Vicente Luque's last loss to Bilal Muhammad, who was able to control him and exploit that weakness, a weakness I don't see Jeff Neal exploiting. He was on a 4-fight finishing streak. So Vicente Luque, very killer be killed fighter. He's got numerous performance of the night bonuses, numerous fight of the night bonuses. He can get caught in these firefights, which scares me, but he's been durable. He's held up. And he's got 18 UFC fights so far, so he's gone a very good record, only losing to Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who also beat Jeff Neal. So I'm taking I'm taking Vicente Luque here on the money line. I think he does get this done and just keeps this momentum going, gets back on track. I just see his ability to switch stances, his ability to just give high striking output over 3 rounds and keep that durability. I think he beats Jeff Neal here. This could play out a lot closer than the money line indicates, but I think all the tools to win are in the favor of Luque. Moving on to the main event, the very next fight, which is Jamal Hill to beat Thiago Santos. I am paying a hefty price on Jamal Hill. Minus 275 on his money line, 4-unit play on Jamal Hill. I believe in this kid. I believe in the momentum of this guy at, a 7-year age advantage in the favor of the youth in Jamal Hill. This guy is just a finishing machine. He's got height, he's got reach. And Thiago Santos, man, he outside of that, quote-unquote win over Johnny Walker, which was actually a very boring, one of the worst 5-round fights, low output. He barely squeaked by a decision win there. He's been on a huge losing streak, not having really won a bout outside of the Johnny Walker one since early 2019 over Jan Blachowicz. Since then, he's lost to John Jones. He lost after that to Rakic. Now he's losing to, Magomed Ankalaev. And what was the other bout? I know I'm missing one in there for Santos. Been on quite a losing streak outside of Johnny Walker. Let me pull this up here. What name am I missing? Oh, Glover Teixeira, that's right. He was doing very well in that fight, ended up blowing it. That was right after the John Jones fight. So, yeah, losing 4 out of his last 5 for Thiago Santos on 2 fake knees, 38 years old. Very low striking output, and he did his best work back in the day when he would be at 185 or his early fights at 205, and he would really take risks in order to get the job done. He trusted in himself. He trusted in his chin, his accuracy, his power. You don't see that same trust in himself anymore. He's very tentative to throw, has to counter strike and look for that one big knockout shot, which is very possible here. He still has that power for sure. You see flashes of brilliance from Thiago Santos from time to time, but with that big reach advantage for Jamal Hill, all of his finishing potential, and just a big speed advantage. And this will be the first guy at 205 that's a southpaw that Thiago Santos has to face. A little odd look there. I think the last southpaw he fought was Eric Anders. So minus 275 on the money line. I'm just going to go straight up. Maybe this could be another 5-round boring fight where Jamal Hill wins the decision there. So I'm just taking the money line, 4-unit play, minus 275. I like everything about Jamal Hill. I think he gets this done. Probably inside the distance as well as a way you could play this. So minus 150 for Jamal Hill to win inside the distance or by knockout is probably like $5 difference on the money line, I think I saw. So you could play it that way as well. I've already invested on the money line, so I'm not going to add on and get cute with a prop as well, just in case they both fail. So, but I would recommend, I don't hate that inside the distance at minus 150 for Hill either. Moving on to some props and going backwards, back to the co-main event, I do have Vicente Luque and Jeff Neal. Fight goes to decision at plus 108 for 1 unit play on that. This is one of the more risky ones because both guys have so many finishes. Vicente Luque has finished the majority of his fights. Jeff Neal, known as a knockout, puncher and kicker as well. But both guys are extremely durable. Vicente Luque never having lost in any of his bouts, including, 30 professional bouts for Vicente Luque, including 18 in the UFC, never been finished by strikes. He recovers very quickly in the few times he has been in trouble. Jeff Neal only been finished by strikes one time, and that was against Kevin Holland pre-UFC. So, this is very risky. Again, both guys potent finishers, which is why you're getting plus money on Fight Goes. But both guys proven to be very durable as well. So I'm going to risk it and take that plus money on Fight Goes to decision for 1 unit. The next one is complete opposite. The under in the Sergey Spivak, Augusto Sakai fight under 2.5 for minus 170. 1 unit play there. Self-explanatory, 2 big sloppy heavyweights. By default, I'm already weary of this going to decision. I already think it's going to go under. But if you want numbers to go with that, Augusto Sakai, 20 professional mixed martial arts bouts. 14 of those have ended inside the distance. Spivak, very much the same. Out of 17 of his pro fights, 14 have ended inside the distance. So I think if this goes halfway through the 3rd round, they're going to be so gassed out and slow at that point. It probably just keeps going to the scorecard. So I'm comfortable taking the under 2.5 at this point at minus 170. I saw it really jumped up to a much higher minus number tag when you went Fight Goes to decision. So I took the under 2.5. I think that's pretty safe. Sakai has the KO power on the feet, the ability to take the fight to the ground and get vicious ground and pound, and maybe even offensive submission game goes to Sergey Spivak. Both guys have finishing potential. Both guys have been finished, and both guys are potent finishers. So this all spells under 2.5 for minus 170. I like that. Moving even further back to the beginning of the night, Josh Quinlan making his official UFC debut. This guy looks like basically like Vanderlei Silva fight style. He trains at Van Fight Team in Vegas. The Hawaiian Josh Quinlan coming off of a 1-round knockout on the Contender Series. He's facing Jason Witt, who has a very questionable durability at this point in his career. Jason Witt could actually finish this by decision as well. He could grind out Josh Quinlan, maybe work for offensive submission game. I'm not sure. I think he would just ride out control time if he does get all of the takedowns and survive. But there's going to be spots here where Josh Quinlan can get some strikes off, just like we saw against Philip Rowe when Jason Witt faced him earlier this year. He was able to take him down, control him in round 1. As soon as it went to round 2 and he couldn't get a takedown, Philip Rowe just sniped him with the right hand, knocked him out. So I can see that playing out for Josh Quinlan here. Plus 100 to win by knockout when this guy has a ton of knockouts on his record out of his, 4 amateur bouts and 5 professional bouts for Josh Quinlan. Plus 100 for his only path to victory here. I'll take that on him for sure. 1 unit play on plus 100. I already touched on the Hill inside the distance at minus 150. Not playing that personally, but I do recommend that one. That's a good play there for his most likely path to victory. Having finished 5 out of his 6 UFC fights, all by KO and all either in round 1 or round 2. I like that for Jamal Hill. I also like, now these are 2 quarter unit plays, more degenerate ones on Priscilla Cachoeira. A quarter unit for her to win by knockout over Ariane Lipski at plus 575, and a quarter unit for her to win by knockout in round 3 at plus 2,000. I like both of those. I just think Lipski is too pretty, too fragile, never faced the amount of forward pressure, and somebody who's just willing to eat every single punch and kick you throw her way, keep moving forward. That's Priscilla Cachoeira. She cheats. She might even knock out Ariane Lipski with like a steel chair she finds when the ref's not looking. I wouldn't put it past her. So for plus 575, and Cachoeira has 6 knockouts on her professional record. Ariane Lipski's been knocked out 3 times. 2 of them in her last 3 fights. Again, those were by ground and pound strikes, but again, what's going to happen when she's forced to counter-strike off of her back foot and get pressured by Zombie Girl for 3 rounds? I think she might get tired in round 3 and open up for that potential to be stopped by strikes in round 3 at plus 2,000. I like both of those for quarter unit plays. And those are all of the Moneyline bets and props that I have. Now, I did say I had one degenerate like Hail Mary parlay. I'm just putting, 0.75 units on this one. I couldn't help myself but to parlay these. My most confident fighters, all five: Luque, Hill, Zach Pauga, Zach Pauga, I believe his name is pronounced, Josh Quinlan, and Mayra Bueno Silva. So Mayra Bueno Silva, Josh Quinlan, Zach Pauga, Jamal Hill, and Vicente Luque. 3/4 of a unit, and that's plus 725 odds on that one. So, a little over 7 times your money. And those are 5 people I think are all going to come through this weekend. You've got that plus money on Silva bumping up those odds. So, just to summarize, the best plays that Eric Betts Fights gave out last night on the live stream. He ended up liking the Hill inside the distance, as I mentioned, at minus 150. He did like the Josh Quinlan KO as well at plus 100. And he liked Zach Pauga to win by decision over Mo Usman at plus 150. A sneaky look there as well. He also did like the round 2 for Eric Gonzalez over Terrence McKinney. In case it makes it to that second round and McKinney gets tired, it was like plus 3,000, Eric said, for round 2 Eric Gonzalez. Another degenerate long shot play that I don't mind. So thanks for Eric for coming on and giving us those best bets and props. And yeah, man, 5 money lines, about 4 or 5 props. I'm pretty happy with that. Last week we did pretty well with making profit and sticking to a very simple game plan. A few props, a few money lines, staying off the parlays. I did waste, 0.75 units on that Hail Mary I just gave out, but not bad. That's all I'm going to do this week. So thanks for all the support, you guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know what your best bets and props are in the comments below. I'm always down to add more to my slate if you guys make a good point and convince me to do something crazy. So without further ado, let's end this video and wish you guys good luck in all of your bets this weekend. If you've got any PFL action, good luck on that as well. And I will talk to you guys Sunday for the recap. Again, thanks everybody for coming out to the first live stream. I can't wait for the next one next Wednesday. Good luck in all your betting action. Cheers.